Kenny Clark, and this is Lombardi's Bar.
This is one of my favorite podcasts to do.
I'm just, blessed and thankful to be a part of this podcast. It's a great podcast. It's a great interview.
Maybe I know that you guys obviously being the best Packers podcast that's out there.
I had Malort this weekend, so I'm not tasting anything.
Oh, good.
He did.
God.
He did. That was fantastic. Because it said, "Did you ever try Malort?" And I said, "No." And then it said, "Do you want to take a shot of Malort?" I said, "No," but I did.
Wait, who said
it's called peer pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to get in a high honors English class once, and they called my parents and were like, "Hey, just tell him he can't do it."
It shows. It really shows. I hate you guys so much.
I'm going to throw these two guys into the screen so that if I die, they can carry on the legacy of crap that is this show.
And welcome in, everybody, to another edition of Lombardi's Bar here on the Game On Wisconsin YouTube channel. I'm your bartender, Dan Kotnick. Thank you so much for joining us today, everybody. The chat, it is blowing up before the show even got started. I think that just talks, Jay, the Riz level, that shows you where the Riz level is. It's through the roofs. It's blowing the roof off of AT&T Stadium today, baby. The Victory Chain Emma is back. Hopefully, this Victory Chain makes about 3 more appearances the rest of the year. Would be very, very nice to see this Victory Chain make a few more appearances. If this is your first time joining us here on Lombardi's Bar, make sure you take a second to subscribe, to like the show, so you get notified every time we go live here on the Game On Wisconsin YouTube channel. Thank you very much, Matt. Really appreciate it. We have a huge show to get into, guys. Todd Varney is here with me. Todd, how are you doing, buddy, in your Unabomber cabin, wherever you've decided to hole up for an hour or so?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. Be nice if it would get a little bit warmer here in Texas. We've been below freezing for the last few days. So
okay, I was about to ask what the hell that.
Yeah, I know it's been colder in the Midwest. 20 degrees is still cold, especially when the real feel is like 2. It's still cold. So I don't care. I've experienced cold in my life. I can be cold in other places as well.
Okay. Oh, I don't know why you took it so personally.
You were gonna. You wanted to. I could feel it.
I'm glad. I do appreciate you. You didn't take offense to the Unabomber comment, but instead went to the cold comment. I think that really highlights your.
I know who I am. I know who I am and what I'm about.
Speaking of Unabombers, Jimmy is not here with us today. Who knows where he's ended up? But we do have 2 incredible guests joining us today to fill his shoes. It's Tyler Herrick and it's Monty Moore. Gentlemen,
what up?
Welcome into Lombardi's Bar. Tyler, for the first time. Monty, you've been here before, right?
I think I have. Maybe not. I want to say so. Yes, but
I can't honestly, watching stuff and Pack-A-Day, and it all kind of blends in together. I know, Tyler, this is your first time at the bar, buddy. So cheers. Welcome in.
Thank you so much. What an excellent bar to be at, by the way. Everyone here is just lovely, gracious, beautiful. Everyone but Todd. Everyone but Todd. It's just lovely, gracious, and beautiful. I love it.
I could dip out. You guys you do the thing. I'm
gonna. When Todd asked me to do this, I said, "Who else is going to be there? Anyone but you, buddy."
You want to come to a party? Who's going to be there?
Who's going to be there?
Legitimately, once I told them both that they were filling in for Jimmy, it was an immediate yes.
Yeah.
Not Jimmy.
It's in my contract.
It's in my. I have to do it.
It's in mine too, but I need a better agent because I still end up working with him.
Better agent.
Guys, how the hell are we feeling after?
Oh, we're feeling great.
Oh yeah, could not be any better right now.
I didn't think this season keeps reaching new levels. I didn't think I could feel better going into a playoff game than I did last week when we talked. And now I've never felt this before. I don't know what to do with anything on my body, in my life. This is a new sensation for me. Not being the Cowboys, that's been pretty normal in recent years. But
yeah, that's what's funny, right? Is like that's another team it feels like we're gonna beat them whenever we play, but this time there was obviously higher stakes and you're coming in as a big underdog. But as the season has gone, even if your expectations remain the same, which mine pretty much are, these like last 3 weeks have been amazing because at this point, instead of feeling like there's more pressure the further you get in the playoffs, for us, it's just, oh, we get to watch the Packers for another week. Like, that's cool. Like, hopefully we get to watch them again next week. But if not, whatever.
Oh, shucks. It's done.
Yeah, it's really weird, like, feeling like this is a big first playoff win in a long time when it's been a year that we've been out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
That we're all just like, wow, what a weird, strange new feeling that we've all had almost every year for the last years.
I could get used to this again.
Yeah, again.
There's a whole generation of preschoolers that have never seen the Packers win a playoff game, guys.
That's true.
Yeah, they're doing it for the kids.
Yeah,
Just
that's
for the
right.
kids only.
Yeah, man. I just like it. It got to where was? Let me ask this question. When was the point for everybody where it was the tipping point, where the game went from, oh, okay, like, oh, this is pretty good, to, oh, like this is becoming something different.
I think for me it was the Darnell Savage pick six.
Yeah, it has to be, right?
Yeah, I mean, like,
no 14-point lead is safe with this team, so you're kind of like, oh,
yeah.
I was happy, and we were sitting next to each other at the greatest Packers bar in the state of Arizona,
right?
Casey's Bar and Grill.
Casey Jones.
Casey Jones Bar and Grill. Excellent location. Feels like you're in Wisconsin. If you're in there for a few hours and you walk outside, you forget that you're not in the great homeland of Wisconsin. But, sitting next to you, I was not, ready to think we were going to blow them away at any point until Darnell came out of nowhere like a bat out of hell and took that ball for 6. That was excellent, man.
Yeah, because I mean, at that point, it's 20-0 at that point, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And
right before the 2-minute warning, or right at the 2-minute warning,
yeah.
So it's like the Cowboys are getting the ball out of the half, and they still have a good offense. Like, again, no one in any universe thinks you're going to win that game in a shutout, so they're going to start scoring at some point. So at that point, to make it 27-0, to making it almost not matter, if they would have come out and scored back-to-back touchdown drives, you're still at 27-14. So like that gave them, I think, that kind of cushion where I started to say, I'm going to start being less worried if the Packers aren't scoring every time they have the ball, but then they did that anyway. So
they kept going. They just didn't stop.
Yeah, they just kept scoring regardless. So that was cool.
It was a weird experience where, like, the PTSD that I have from the Mike McCarthy years rearing its ugly head in a game where they had a huge lead over Mike McCarthy. I was like,
because I mean, the Cowboys were like draining the clock and then kicking field goals. Like that was, that was classic bad Mike McCarthy time management.
Yeah, when they came out with a 6-minute drive and kicked a field goal, I was like, you know what, we might be all right. Mike McCarthy can't hurt me anymore.
Speaking of PTSD, though, I turned to Monty at one point and I said, I got stuff to do. I got thumbnails to make. I got some shorts to do for this, after every game, really. And I was like, I gotta get going here. I think, we blew them out. I might leave a little bit early to go get a head start on my work. And I'm sitting there and we're waiting for our bill. And I'm just like, oh my God, the Cowboys won't stop scoring now. Oh my God. Oh my God. They're within 2. Oh my God. They're almost with 1. Like, I was like, I started getting really nervous for about 2 minutes and 30 seconds there. It got pretty scary for a second there.
Well, it wasn't just us. Matt LaFleur got nervous too.
That's true. Yeah, put it.
And they got panicked and put him back in, which
man,
no one's gonna care about this in the long.
Have you guys ever seen that in an NFL game?
No,
I've never.
I don't think I've ever seen that ever.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And the thing that made it look worse, again, we're not gonna care about this in a week, but.
No, I will.
Jordan Love would have had the perfect passer rating.
Man.
Well, like why even make him throw it? Like
Right.
put him out there and run it and hand it off, but at least maybe the Cowboys don't assume you're going to do that because your backup quarterback's not in. But yeah, they could have just let him hand it off and take more time off the clock, and yeah, would have preserved that. Because wouldn't that have been the first perfect passer rating in the playoffs?
It was.
Like that. I mean, he deserved that because he played an almost perfect game. So that's the only downside, pretty much.
And to lose it on a drop that's a 2-yard out, like
a
Yeah.
meaningless drop.
Which would have been a first down, by the way. Kraft would have kept running to the
I
to the
bet
marker.
I bet if Tucker Kraft wasn't a third rounder, he would have caught that.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's the worst. That's the worst the curse will be for him. I'll
Yeah,
take
I
it.
actually, it was like, I think it was close to halftime. And I started telling my buddy that I was watching it with that I had made the bet last week that if the Packers won, I didn't have to get the mashed potato tattoo on my ass. And I started to say it, and I was like, well, at least nope. I'll tell you later. Forget it. It's not like we can't talk about it right now. And he was just like, all right, whatever.
All right.
No, so Sean Clifford comes into the game. I'm like, all right, I got to go do bedtime. So I'm like, let's go upstairs. We'll do bedtime. And I'm like, I'll turn the game on my phone, like turn the volume down. I'll just put it next to me as we're reading. And I'm sitting there reading like all these, he's giving me book and book after book. And I'm like, this game is not ending. Like, why are they still playing? So I'm like half reading it. I'm like, I'm a pout fish with a pout face. It spread the jeery rearies. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then like finally came downstairs like the 2-minute warning. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Had they gotten one of those onside kicks, though, I feel like we all would have been in a nervous flop sweat. Like just.
Well, then they almost got it. They almost got that one. It rolled right past. Who was that? Jaden?
It rolled right through Jaden Reed.
Oh my
god. One
Only
point
this
I do want to point out here, and I think my research is accurate. This is the first playoff win for the Packers since January 16th, 2021. That's literally almost 3 years.
The Rams divisional game.
The Rams divisional game.
We have really suffered.
Yeah, right, man. We deserve this, guys.
It's been a long.
We've been through hell.
Here,
Wow.
All right.
I hope we never have to go through that again, to be honest.
Yeah, that was enough for me. I can't.
There were
can't
some
take
dark
it.
times.
Yeah,
I didn't think I was going to make it a few times.
October.
I tried to sell my stock. It was wild.
Tried to give
the price just plummeted.
Return to sender. You put it in a FedEx Manila envelope. Send it over.
Real quick in the chat, Jay, Katie, little blue truck slaps. Little blue truck came down the road. Beep said blue to big green toad. I could probably go through that whole fucking book right now.
You don't have to. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I was going to say prove it.
You know what?
Yeah,
He
prove it.
learned
Wait a minute.
the dump truck in the end learns that sometimes all you need is a helping hand from a few good friends.
Do we have a different segment we can jump into? Or
I was going to do buy around.
I didn't know if you guys were doing the Dan Kotnick book club. I don't know if that was
the book club. That's the segment.
How do I opt out of this?
Oh man.
All right, let's jump into buy around here. Buy around for something from this past week that made you feel good. Todd, why don't you kick us off?
Well, you had to throw in that last part about made me feel good because it actually made me feel really bad. I'm going to go with buy around for Kingsley and Egbari. Just tough deal. The guy's been playing great this year, in that rotational spot across from LVN quite a bit. And I didn't even see when it happened.
Neither did I.
After the game,
I don't think they really showed it.
Yeah, after the game, LaFleur was just like, you just talk to JJ and feel terrible for him. And I was like, what?
Yeah, we didn't even get the Fox little injury melody going to commercials. I had no idea.
Yeah. So
the
bummer for him,
version.
Especially late in the season on a guy like him too, because it's just. I'm pretty sure next year's is it his 4th year?
I think third. I think it'll be his third year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So either way, to come in, still on that rookie deal, you're likely going to miss most of next year, if not all. Like, just tough to see it. So buy around for Kingsley. Shout out to him.
He's got
2022 draft. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
2 more years.
2 more. He's good.
Yeah. Monty, who would you like to buy around for?
I'm gonna go Darnell Savage because he's played better this year, but I also feel like he's been the player on the defense where everyone had kind of, even before the season, said, all right, well, this is it for you, right? Like they guaranteed the 5th year option, but after that, you're probably not going to be here. He played well enough and they need enough safeties where, I mean, if the price is right, I would feel comfortable even bringing him back at this point. He's playing much better the closer they play him in the line of scrimmage, which he's always played better there. It just seems like they're now more consistently putting him in a position to be more successful, because all those times they tried him as like the deep safety, last line of defense kind of guy, he gets burned once a game, it seems like. But a huge play, obviously, we talked about as being the one to point to that we knew the game was pretty much over at that point. So definitely going to buy around for Darnell Savage.
Excellent.
Yeah, big time. I mean, that Tyler, you guys nailed it with the video afterwards, where it was side by side of Savage running down and next to it was Tremont Williams.
Yeah.
Because when he hits the 180 degree of the camera and it goes from his front to his back and you just see the dreads running down the sideline right before the half, I'm like, that's Tremont Williams.
And it was like, as soon as he caught it just like that, you knew he was gone. Like there was nobody that had a chance. Yeah.
It was eerily similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's and like you mentioned, Monty, for a guy who has basically, like, you could have honestly said, like, if you were going to trade a defensive player at the trade deadline, would you trade Rasul or trade Savage? People would probably have said Savage, like,
easily.
Easily.
I feel like, yeah.
In fact, I'm still going to do that. Can we go back? I miss you, Rasul.
Yeah. Tyler, who would you like to buy around for?
You know, it might not be super popular, but I'm going to go ahead and buy around for Joe freaking Barry. This guy was literally brought to task like a witch in Salem, right? I mean, the entire freaking like season, everyone, get him out of here. I hate him. Bye. Gone. And then when Matt was like, hey, after that Bucks game, like, hey, we're sticking with him. Like, it is what it is. Like, get over it. And everyone lost their minds.
Got even worse after that.
I still think, even if we win a Super Bowl, they need to seriously evaluate the whole situation, right? But the dude just put his head down, right? His freaking kids are all over social media seeing Packers fans rip their dad apart, right? And now he's over here like, you know what? We're going to button up. And the guys, it feels like, I don't know if this is true, but it feels like the guys have kind of like, all right, like, he's here. We're going to, if not for him, we're going to do it for us on the defensive side of the ball. And they've really strapped up for the past few games. So at least it seems that way.
I do feel like LaFleur specifically talked about he's going to get a little bit more involved in the defense. And since he said that, they have played a little differently. So
that's part of it for sure. You know, LaFleur's in there going like sticking his head like a substitute teacher or a principal into the door. Like,
that's why I feel like,
what are you talking about?
That's why I feel like him having to be this involved and it now getting better, I feel like will almost make him realize, like, yeah, we got to make a change, because
you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that all year long. You can't.
I've said,
sitting, holding hands.
I've said before, like, you know, he doesn't want to be involved with the defense. Like, he wants somebody that's like, you handle this, like, you do your thing. Like, I'm trusting you with it. I'm handling the offense and the play calling. So the fact that he is getting involved, I feel like, there's definitely still probably going to be a change made. But yeah, I mean, clearly whatever switch they've tried to flip has worked. And I mean, I guess we'll really find out on Saturday.
Well, I'm just saying from a like emotional standpoint, the dude got destroyed. And he's still like, you know what? It is what it is. And he's still getting up in front of the, pressers, and he's still showing up to work every day, and he's not quitting. You know, you could resign after something like that, and he didn't. So
Well, and I think because this isn't the first time it feels like every season that he's been here, there's been either Matt or the players have had to go to him and say, hey, dude, figure it out. And it always happens like the week after we're all surprised that he still has a job. And then they play lights out the rest of the year. And then Matt's like, see, told you. I think that's why he might revisit it after this season. And I think that's what makes a guy like Brandon Staley very appealing is he's been a head coach. He knows what the head coach has to deal with on a regular basis and can like kind of put himself in those shoes and go, okay, I can do all of the defensive stuff to take that off of his plate to make him not have to worry about that.
What didn't I want to deal with when I was in that position?
Right.
So I'll take that away.
As opposed to promoting somebody up through the ranks or giving a guy his first DC job or, something like that, where it's like,
I don't think Joe Barry's earned his job back for next year yet.
No, I don't
Of course,
think
if we
so.
win a Super Bowl, that might change a little bit, but he's definitely earned the right to have a graceful exit. When the season's over versus like either resigning or getting fired,
Well, and
that's just where I'm at.
His contract's likely up after the season.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone say that definitively, but I do because they normally give their coordinators three-year contracts. So that would make sense. It makes it easier to move on at that point.
Yeah,
Danny, I think keeping Joe Barry on as defensive coordinator is just selling. You don't have to sell your soul to keep Joe Barry. I think keeping Joe Barry is selling. Joe Barry Barry is Al Pacino in Devil's Advocate, and he's sitting here just like, are you sure? I'll take you all the way. That's my Al Pacino. Thank you.
That's pretty good.
Nailed it. I honestly thought he was.
I thought he joined for a minute.
Wait a minute.
She's got a great ass.
Was that from that dump truck book? That line? Is that the line? Okay.
Yeah, the Ford is by Al Pacino in the book.
Little Blue Truck. New York Times bestseller. It's got a great ass. I will buy a round for America's team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Thank you.
Because not only do I appreciate you for keeping Mike McCarthy and all of his children fed and in college, roof over his head, all of that, but my heart goes out to you guys. It really does. Because it's another year of expectations with Mike McCarthy. And everything lined up the way you wanted it to. But you know what, guys?
No natty for you. No natty. For you. No natty.
No natty.
No natty. No natty.
No natty for Mike McCarthy.
No natty
for Micah Parsons.
No natty for you. No natty for you. No natty for that guy.
That guy. No natty. Sorry, Dallas, but suck it big time.
There really is. It always is a good feeling where you're obviously happy to win the game, but you also don't feel bad for anyone on the team. Like I do kind of feel bad for McCarthy, but other than that, he gets
to keep his job. Did you guys see that?
Yeah,
that's true.
Keep his job. So good for him.
That's true.
Right? That's all that matters, really.
It shocks me with them and the Bears. Like, there's some really good coaches available right now.
I know at this cycle,
go kick the tires. Like, because if you make the change next year, who might be of it?
Who's
like,
left?
it might be a bunch of dog shit next year.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that they weren't even at least going to look at Mike Vrabel.
Right.
Maybe he has no interest in coaching the Cowboys. That seems like a weird thing because that's a high profile job, but. Yeah, I feel like Harbaugh is going to go to the Chargers. Pete Carroll. I know Belichick's got the Atlanta rumors, which would be kind of crazy, but
the amount of money that Jerry can throw at a coach, though,
right?
To just be like, come here.
I think Jerry's looking for someone who's going to let him have all the power, though. And I don't know if Mike
Vrabel doing that.
Like he's used to Mike at this point,
Yeah,
it's the reason why Jason Garrett stuck around for so long. Like once you find a dynamic where you allow him to be the head honcho, like he's going to keep you around no matter what.
Yeah. He likes a yes man coach.
Yeah, for sure.
As an owner that likes to meddle, he wants a yes man coach.
Wade Phillips. Are we just gonna let's name all the Dallas Cowboys coaches we can remember. Wade Phillips, Jason
Well,
Garrett.
Speaking of Dallas Cowboy coaches, you guys weren't fired up by the Jimmy Johnson halftime tirade?
Get your rear ends out there.
Jerry finally shows him a little bit of love.
And he loses it.
And
yeah,
he just is all back in on this.
He just went insane.
Just
I can't say what I want to say on national television.
It looked like he was crying.
Oh, he was losing it. He was losing it. So funny.
It did. It felt like there was he was personally hurt that it was Jordan Love doing it to him as well. Like
get after Jordan Love.
And you haven't seen the clip. Oh my God, he literally. It's like he's having a stroke. It is. It's like he's stroking out for a hot minute. It's uncomfortable to watch. And
freezing.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty bad.
He was
stroking out for a hot minute.
Stroking to the west.
Oh man.
Yeah, it is. He's Jimmy Johnson and Lou Holtz are in that same. Lou Holtz, Lee Corso. It's guys. Terry. I don't need to see more of this.
They're in the S tier, but the S is for senile.
Jesus.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into the flip side. Pay the tab. Monty, why don't you kick us off with this one?
I mean, this one's pretty hard, right? It was nearly a perfect game.
I had two. I actually have two.
Can I be extremely petty and pick Anders for missing one extra point, but making the other 5 and making field goals also? Like, it's hard for me to care about a missed extra point in a game where they were up 48-16 at some point.
If he makes that extra point, they don't just tie the record for most points.
That's true.
In a playoff game, they break the record.
That's true.
And that is solely on you. The one kick.
Womp womp.
Yeah, that's about as bad as I can get though. I mean, everything else was fantastic.
And also RIP to any bettors that had Anders Carlson field goals in their parlays, which I know there were a few because God knows no one expected us to just score touchdowns against Dallas.
Are you guys cool with Anders? Is everybody cool with Anders so far? I mean, I'm so indifferent about it.
Dude can't miss.
I feel like
I'm
this
cool
year,
with
you know what I mean? Like I'm indifferent about it.
It is annoying that he's missed all those extra points. But his field goal percentage this year was better than Crosby's his rookie year. The missed extra points, I know it's easy to like brush them aside because it hasn't really cost them a game yet. Although you can argue the stuff that he missed in Pittsburgh made it so they had to go for touchdowns at the end of the game. But I mean, putting that in the past, like where we're at, it's frustrating. But he's also a rookie kicker. Like I'm going to be a little more patient with a rookie kicker in a season where we don't have a lot of expectations. Like if, like in the last couple of years of Aaron Rodgers, every playoff game could this be the end of an era? And a missed kick counts for everything. But in this season, I'm fine with it. I do expect, and I am okay with, like in training camp, they'll probably bring in one kicker for competition.
Yeah. I feel like they do that every year though, right?
Yeah. I think that's warranted, and that's fine.
I saw something come. I didn't end up reading it or following it. Something about like Ryan Suckup or something. There was like some the Packers could.
Yeah, people were talking about bringing him in to kick extra points.
Come on,
which
that's
that's
serious.
That's
an important guy to have.
Yeah,
someone's going to clip this next week
when
we lose by 1 point. Be like, you idiot! We could have had Suck Up.
Fire LaFleur.
It is. It's pay the tab is a bit hard this week.
Yeah,
I will take this one so my second one doesn't get stolen here. But this one came out today. Mark Chimura.
This clown, dude! What a clown, dude! No way! I had no idea he had a radio show.
Yeah, he's on every day.
I did not fucking realize that was Mark Chimura. I thought Mark Chimura was dead. That's not a joke. I thought he was dead.
Why?
I wish death upon him since the 90s. You know why? Washington said that. Let me hold on a second.
Dan thought he drowned in a hot tub.
Wait a minute. I meant metaphorically.
Yes.
Don't sue us. What I was trying to say was in the 90s we had a hamster. His name was Chewy. All right.
I didn't know where this was going.
Listen. Stuck my little finger in there.
Solo.
Shut up! Right through my finger. Ever since then, didn't like the guy.
Put your finger where?
Right into the hamster cage. Right into the hamster cage. Chop!
Yeah, no, advocating for trying to injure Brock Purdy like at the beginning of the game. Yeah, great look.
Yeah, it's so annoying. I can't believe he said that. Like that's so ridiculous.
And he did it in the most awkward way possible with the I'm not saying you injure him, but I'm not also saying you.
Yeah, he said I'm not condoning it. I'm not condoning it, but I am.
I am.
But I think we should do it.
The hockey metaphor made no fucking sense. Like
that was absolutely made no sense.
Hockey fights. The only reason they even are still legal is because it's a way to police on cheap shots. What you're advocating for, it doesn't fucking make any sense, Mark.
Yeah, and players
and underage women.
And hockey players take it upon themselves to not fight in the playoffs.
Right.
Pretty much.
Because it's dumb. Because
it's going to hurt your team.
You don't do stupid penalties in the
Which
playoffs.
he even said, like, they don't fight in the playoffs.
Right.
But I think in the playoffs in the NFL, you should think about it.
Buddy, all you had to say was just be physical, match the physicalness. Like it's not that hard. Like
how hard is it? How hard is it to say play to the whistle? Like that implies
play through the whistle. Play to the echo of the whistle.
Trying to say.
There's years of coach speak laid out for you.
Literally, just say it, dude. And the worst part was they like tried to like ESPN Milwaukee or whatever was like, get our live reactions to Twitter tearing us apart over this. And then I clicked on it and I watched like the first 5 minutes and this guy's like with the ultimate like 6,000 gain compression on his microphone. He's like,
well, I'll tell you what, guys. He didn't say anything wrong. He did not say anything wrong. And I don't understand why everybody's so upset.
Like, come on, dude. It's so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Like to double down on it. But are we really surprised? Like Grassi tweeted out, like this is the same dude that bought the Aaron Rodgers Jets jersey, stood right behind Monty Grassi and Eli and I, and stood right behind us and was like,
"Oh wow, I guess."
By the way, Aaron, you guys miss Aaron Rodgers?
Asking if people wanted to take pictures.
You guys want? And then Monty turns around. We're sitting on the hot bleachers. It's like you, Danny, like all these people. We're sitting there, and this guy like is just heckling like the entire practice. We're trying to watch Jordan Love, right? We're trying to see what we got, trying to watch the practice, having a good time. It wasn't against the Patriots. Wasn't the same practice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Cause it was a joint practice.
Bleachers. We're kind of sunburnt. We're tired, hungover, whatever. Turn around. And all of a sudden the guy at the end of the thing, he's like, so anybody miss Aaron Rodgers? Nothing. Crickets. Pin drop.
Silent.
Can't hear anything. 5 minutes later. All right. Who wants a picture? Monty turns around. He's like, why would we do that? What? And then come to find out, we figured out that he's a radio host.
Yeah, we didn't even know.
Madison, Milwaukee, whatever. And then we start following them on Twitter because they're trolling us because I tweeted out something about how ridiculous it was. They're trying to like troll us with their main account. Like, ha, 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 he called us a goober, ha, ha, ha. And then the next day, we find out the dude falls and breaks his arm. So, listen, I don't understand this. I don't understand this.
He was like, literally, I woke up, the next day, and it was like, there was a clip of him talking about, like, he got something happened. He broke his arm. I was like, oh,
what?
Interesting.
It was just the most oddest
Corey,
series of events.
Ben Brust, that's the guy. Ben Brust, Wisconsin
and then
Badger, all-time great.
You guys will have to go and check. I don't care enough to like fact check this, but I think it was Ben Brust who was like defending Chewy.
Probably. I mean, that
like
tracks.
on that show.
Probably tracks.
Probably.
I'm not going to fact check it. I'm just going to run with it. It definitely.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. You know what? It's 2023 on the 2024 on the internet. Let's do it. All right.
We don't need facts.
Facts?
Yeah, facts are overrated.
We'll fall in the sword
No
of
cap,
community
bro.
notes.
No cap.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad that I brought that up because that was a fun, awesome tangent. Todd, who would you like to have pay the tab?
I'm going to go with Jerry Jones for the simple fact that
He can afford it.
yeah, that
Eat rich.
For some reason, every single year we have to hear about the Cowboys like they're a contender, like there's somebody that you're going to have to go through, that they're going to be a problem. Looking at it right now, since 2000, they have 4 playoff wins. That puts them one in front of the Chicago Bears, ties them with Jacksonville, the Raiders. They are 1 win behind the Bills, the Texans, the Cardinals, the Bengals, the Chargers, the Titans, and the Vikings.
Terrible
like you
team.
have 1 more win than the Texans, or 1 fewer win than the Texans.
And they're about to, and the Texans are still going.
But we have to hear about you every single year, like there's something actually there. Like, just stop, quit it, put yourself in a geographically aligned division. Stop telling me that you're in the East because it really fucked with me as a kid trying to figure that out. It just shut up, dude. Just stop it. Please go away.
Just the power of marketing.
It's insane.
All the memes though. He is a meme.
Oh yeah,
well,
walking meme.
Never
I
run
want me
dry.
some glory hole.
Like all the
I miss
ones
the
of
glory
him
hole days.
saying he looked like the Russian leaders in Rocky IV sitting up there as Drago's getting beat.
Cinema.
One of the best moments of the entire game was after Wicks caught that touchdown and they zoom in on Jerry Jones and he turns around. Like, I was like, I would love to hear what he's saying in that moment. Like, that had to be classic.
I want that Jerron Bland boy. Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Bring him to my office.
Bring him to me. I mean, and then on top of it, him afterwards, first off, pay the tab, especially because he's the only GM that after every single playoff game or big moment game, he has a media scrum.
Yes, he has cameras in his face immediately.
Any other player or coach on the field. Probably more people talk to Jerry Jones than Jordan Love after this game, I feel like. And
Can you imagine if that was Mark Murphy after every Packers playoff loss?
Walking up the sledding hill.
Just dragging a little inner tube behind.
Like, you would get all-time sound bites out of him if they talk to him immediately after those few Packer playoff losses.
Oh my God.
Go find him now.
To see Jerry Jones' sad little frog face talk about how he was shocked and gobsmacked. Yeah, that was worth it. That was worth it for everything.
Poor guy as he takes off in his helicopter from Arlington back to North Dallas, back to Plano.
Tyler, who would you like to have pay the tab?
I was thinking about it while you guys were talking. I don't really have one yet, but I was kind of thinking, hey, I will say this is more a credit to him than it is a knock on us, because I will never knock us, especially not in the playoffs. But man, you guys couldn't limit Jake Ferguson. It was the only thing going on during that entire game. And this dude was popping off like he was prime Kelsey, like Tony Gonzalez going over the middle, just one-handing, sunning all of our DBs for the last. I understand they had already quit by that point, but like this dude would not quit. He was like
he was talking before the game about how he didn't like the Packers, even though he went to Wisconsin.
What is this? Wisconsin guy?
Yeah, he was like, when the Packers were good and the Badgers were bad, it made the Badgers look worse. So I didn't like the Packers growing up. Like, all right, well.
What? Wait, did he really say that? That's the most ridiculous quote I've ever heard. Hold on, I gotta look this up.
Yeah, he was talking about how he was not a Packers fan.
Oh my God. That is hilarious.
I feel like Barry should have disowned him for that. Like, you gotta have a better reasoning than that if you're not going to be a Packer fan in Wisconsin.
Bring him to me.
He visited the Packers. That's why he doesn't like. This is why he doesn't like the Packers. He visited them, and they said, LOL, no. That's why he doesn't like the Packers. 2021. Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah,
They chose Cole Van Lanen over him.
Yeah, it says growing up, Ferguson was never a Packers fan. If anything, he said he resented them for sometimes winning on weekends, Wisconsin lost, and making the Badgers look bad.
Okay, insecure boy. Get out of
Well,
here.
now he gets to look bad.
Have fun in Dallas. Yeah, have fun in Dallas.
Not my fault you can't beat Illinois.
You just got sunned by Zane Anderson. So get out of here.
Yeah, that touchdown should not count. Like, most of us weren't convinced that Zane Anderson was a real human being.
Was real?
For like 4 weeks after he signed. So the fact that, like, the first time I saw Zane Anderson was Ferguson catching a touchdown on him, I was like, he is a real person. Okay. Like that doesn't
Zane
count.
Anderson.
You had 2 touchdowns and a catch over Zane Anderson. Stop it.
Get out of here. That's like having 2 touchdowns and a catch over me. There's nothing to that, man.
I don't know. Give yourself more credit, dude. You could hit that 5-yard slant.
Absolutely.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely. 1,000%. Hey, chat. We got a question for you in the chat. All right. Real life question here. All right. We talked about it extensively at training camp this year with these goobers. All right. Listen.
Extensively.
Behind the best O-line in football last year. The best O-line in football, which was what, last year's Eagles? That was the best O-line in football last year?
Yep.
Not this year's. I don't know what happened. Sirianni, the frat boy, led him into darkness, I guess, without Shane Steichen. Last year's Eagles, best O-line in football. You've got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, right? You telling me that I couldn't, as a human, not just me, you, anyone in this chat, stand behind that O-line, take a one-step drop, and throw a 5-yard slant to A.J. Brown. Throw it to a spot. Throw it to a spot. In a real NFL game against the best defense. Against the best defense.
Absolutely.
Against the best defense. I could do it. 100%.
You get 4 downs.
Four downs. You get 4 downs.
Yeah.
4 downs to throw a 5-yard slant to a spot. You throw it to a spot. Man or zone. Give it to me all day any long. Because I'm not doing the work.
You can do it with man.
Yes, I'm not doing the work. I am not doing the work. A.J. Brown's doing the work. The offensive line's doing the work. You know what I do? One step. Boom. Just like that. Boom.
Done.
Yes, Danny, we're still in this. Yes, Danny, we're still in this because no one believes me. Monty still doesn't believe me. That's why.
I do not.
Could you do it against a defense with me rushing off the edge? Because
no, I don't know. Actually, that's tough. That's tough because you got that Preston Smith arm reach coming around. I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, see, Matt nailed it. It's either getting batted down because you're gonna have your eyes closed.
No. I am not Kyler Murray. I'm at least an inch taller. Okay. I can easily. I'm not Bryce Young back there. All right. If Bryce Young, how tall is Bryce Young?
5'6", a generous 5'10".
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. I'm at least 5'10.5. All right. I'm out here. I'm throwing it. I'm throwing it in between Jason Kelsey and Mulata, right through their ear holes. It's going right to AJ Brown.
Oh, you're gonna also thread the needle.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This is not that hard. No, wait, Katie, listen. Katie in the chat, listen. I'm not getting pummeled. It's getting out of my hands like Tom Brady. How do you think Tom Brady won all those Super Bowls? Got the ball out quicker. That's how you win Super Bowls. You get the ball out quick. What did Jaquan Brisker say about Jordan Love? Oh, he's getting the ball out quick. He was scared. He's getting the ball out quick.
That's true. I'll say this. If Jaquan Brisker's in coverage, yes, you might be able to do it.
Dude, Jair Alexander in coverage. Man. And he gets a 2-step drop on him. I'm telling you. I'm throwing it right to A.J. Brown. He's catching it. Body catch.
I side with Tyler 100%.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm telling you, it's easy. Now, I will say this. Hey, I'm a humble guy. I'm not hitting a baseball.
I mean, clearly.
Anytime soon. I'm not hitting a baseball anytime soon in the MLB. There's not a shot. Not a shot in hell. You can give me 100 tries. I'm not hitting an MLB fastball. I'm telling you. Even a changeup, slow pitch, I'm not hitting it. Can't do it. Refuse. Won't even try. I'm blind to my left eye. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Because here's the thing: if you give me four tries, right?
Yes, 4 downs.
You go on the first one, you do 1-step drop, you throw,
Boom.
and every D lineman is going to go up and try to jump, right? Knock you down,
Yeah.
and it's because it's embarrassing, right? You know,
Pump fake 'em.
Double clutch, bam.
The ball's slipping out of your hand if you try to pump.
Listen.
Teddy Two Gloves.
Yeah, Teddy Two
The
Gloves all
ball's
day long.
definitely coming out at the top, and
No way.
then it's a
Well,
free
here's
for
the-
all.
You don't even need to do.
I'll even do it without Toradol. Put me in there.
Just give him the little shoulder.
Yep.
Okay, I'm a hard yes unless you're gonna pump fake, then I'm out.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. That's too much time. That's too much time. I agree with that. I'm not pump faking.
I'm going to hold the safety with a pump fake. Which
and by the way, I get to set the protection. I'm going max protect. Max protect. I'm going pony package, max protect. All right. Give me two halfbacks, 2 AJ Dillons. How about AJ Dillon and Derrick Henry? Put him right here. All right. Boys,
So you have. How is this happening in a game where you've taken pieces from different teams to throw the ball to?
Listen.
If I had the '90s Cowboys line and Randy Moss against
that's
the
even easier.
2011 Packers,
If I had Randy Moss in the '90s Cowboys line, I'm throwing a post. I'm going razor. 59 razor. 59 razor to the post.
Do you know who I don't want from the 90s in this scenario? Jerry Rice, because even if he caught it, he would
still fumble.
Yeah. He would fumble because Jerry Rice fumbled.
I thought you were going to say Mark Chmura.
Yes, thank you, Emma. See, Emma gets it. You guys, clowns.
All right. Yeah, no look back.
Get out of here, Big B.
We're 2 weeks now separated from the end
Super
of the
Bowl.
regular season.
Oh.
And there is one thing
That
that we still know, Todd.
You
can't do. You can't do going into this week against the 49ers. What
You
is
can't
it?
take the Broncos lightly.
You cannot take the Broncos lightly. We've been saying it for weeks. The Broncos are scary. They're dangerous. They're making a comeback, and they're going to sneak up on you. And if you go into this San Francisco game, you taking the Broncos lightly, going into San Francisco, you will lose. You will lose this game.
Yep,
I'd agree.
Bit over. On to the last part here. Bar bets. Got a couple here for us for this game against the 49ers. So Monty, Tyler,
by the way, hold on real quick. Dan, I believe you went full contrarian against me last week, and I don't know if you had a chance to look at it. You lost them all.
I came pretty damn close on the Aaron Jones one.
But you were wrong on all of them.
Okay.
Fair.
So
anyway.
Yep.
Moving
on.
Moving on.
Yeah, just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you. But who got all of his bar bets right for the Carolina game, predicting we would crap the bed?
Who gives a fuck about that? We're in the playoffs, Dan. This is the playoffs.
Ages ago.
What are you talking about Carolina for?
That week saved me from losing to Jimmy. Bar bets for this week. You can wager up to 5 Bakhtiaris, depending on how good you feel about your wager. Over under 2.5 sacks for the Packers defense this week. In 3 of the 4 losses this year for the 49ers, Brock Purdy has been sacked 2+ times. So it does seem like it is a factor. Todd, how would you like to go on this one?
2.5. Let's go. I'm gonna go 5 Bakhtiaris under. I don't think this line is going. What the hell is that?
What the fuck is that?
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. I think I'm being hacked.
We've been using StreamYard for how long?
Is this? Who is this? Is this Matt? Is Matt doing this?
Is Casper in your room? Is your
Listen,
house
I'm just
haunted?
sitting here. I'm just sitting here. Look, get off. What is this? I haven't touched nothing. Hand check. I don't know what's going on.
That was wild.
Well, Tyler obviously doesn't agree with your assertion.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I'm trying to like re-trigger it here. Is this how you do it? Is like AI?
I have no idea.
Well, it was thumbs down.
AR, I mean,
it was thumbs
it was
down.
thumbs down. Well, like picked up on my microphone. I don't like that. That's kind of scary. Just checking. I don't know what's going on behind me. Scary.
Yeah, under. I just 3 sacks with this line. And the way, I mean, no.
Oh, great.
Under,
it's not Matt.
under.
Great. I don't know what it is. Jeez, that's scary.
For a second, Monty reached off screen, and I have expected his hand to appear behind.
Knock his hat off.
Weird.
All right, so Todd is taking the under. Monty,
I'm gonna take the over. I'm not ultra confident, so I'll say 3 Bakhtiaris. But I think Rashawn Gary he's been quiet. Like, I'm not gonna say he's been disappointing, but he's definitely been quiet. And this is a game where, the chips are stacked against the Packers regardless, but their best players have to play well. And I think he's probably one of the most crazy self-motivated people on this team. And he's one of the very few that has been around the last couple of years for some of these really disappointing losses. Especially in the last one where he was probably the most impressive player on the entire field in that game on either side. So I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna say he gets 2 sacks in this game. I think Rashawn Gary is gonna have a big game. So
I like that. All right,
Ooh.
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be some cocks in San Francisco.
Lots of cocks.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I would love to see Purdy get slapped in the face with the big old cocks.
not after the whistle.
No,
not after the whistle.
No.
You don't want
Chamorro wants to get in on that.
Tyler, how do you go?
I don't really understand the whole Bakhtiari thing. I missed the cue on that one.
It's just a wager.
Oh, just a wager. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say there's only gonna be 1.5 sacks. All right, so 1.5 Bakhtiari.
So you're going under.
I'm going under. Here's why, though. Here's why. We're getting a little monsoon, getting a little flooding, getting a little rainstorm coming through this weekend. All right. I don't think we're gonna need that many sacks. Now, usually, I would be, half thinking that maybe some rain might actually attribute to more sacks, right? But I think there's going to be a lot of running the football on both sides this week because of the weather. It's going to they're going to come out wanting to throw it around, but they're not really going to be able to. A lot of under center, a lot of running the football, and there's not going to be a lot of opportunity to get some sacks out there. So I'm going to go under. I'm going to go under on that one.
That is true. We're in the more unique position this time, where last time we played them in the playoffs, it was at Lambeau. The weather was bad.
Yes.
That brought the talent level closer together, right? I mean, the fact that that's an advantage for the Packers has been a myth for probably like 10 years now, if not longer. So, like, teams that aren't as good coming in there in bad weather, it's a more equal playing field. So we're going to get that this time because the Niners obviously are the more talented and better team, but slippery field. If it rains during the game, all those little things come into play. And when they talk about like hand size mattering for quarterbacks, like Purdy does have smaller hands than you'd like for a QB. So if we get bad weather, that gives us the advantage. So
let's go. Monsoon then. Give me a monsoon.
I forgot think about how big Cox will look in Purdy's tiny hands.
That's getting clipped probably. I feel.
All right.
Yeah. Emma nailed it. The only weather report I care about is what the moon is up to on Saturday.
I saw this.
We are in a waxing gibbous, baby.
Yeah, but wasn't that only a Lions thing?
That was a Lions curse.
I think Rashawn Gary has adapted it.
Okay.
Into just like,
Oh, and National Cheese Day. Now, National Cheese Day, that's a poll right there. That might help.
That's every day, though.
Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah,
I
for a
do agree
cheesy
with-
boy like you, bud.
I agree
You mean
with
the block of
Tyler
Monterey Jack right now?
on the run side thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be running the ball a lot
because
in the rain.
because it's going to be a lot of running the ball. But I think that there's going to be some really key situations where it's 3rd and long, clear, obvious passing down, and just like on it was the 4th down play where Joe Barry jailbreak defense like for the fight. That's the first time I've seen him like zero covered blitz, and I think I hope he's getting a taste for it. And
they had Nixon run blitzing.
Oh yeah, like multiple times. That's how he got that sack, right? He was coming off the edge.
I think he had like 11 tackles, which is wild.
Yeah.
Like,
I think Love's going to have to make a lot of
aggressive.
out of structure. Love's going to have to make a lot of out of structure plays. I was watching some 49ers like interviews and stuff just on their YouTube channel. And they were talking, about the team, about the matchup. And Fred Warner was on his little podcast that he's got with his wife. And he was talking about how, his perception of Love is that he's really good in the system. He's really good in rhythm. He's really good in whatever. But they haven't seen – he thinks Brock Purdy is better than Jordan Love. Obviously, same team, so he's going to say that. But his reason for saying that was that he thinks that Brock Purdy can extend plays better and make
better
plays
off
outside
script.
better off script than Jordan Love because he hasn't seen it. So I wonder, if they're going to game plan to what they've seen so far of Jordan Love, maybe Jordan Love can bust out his wheels a little bit because he's got some wheels, man. He can turn around and little keepers, little read option, little things like that might be time, against a team that's clearly on paper, better talented than we are. It might be time when we've got all the motivation, we've got all the fire. I want to see Jordan Love get out there, man. You can be Lamar Jackson if you want,
guys.
Go out there.
Guys, I'm biting my lip here.
I wasn't sure if that was a hot
Tyler.
Yeah, wait a minute.
We
Tyler
were talking
is
about Cox, and all of a sudden you started biting your lip.
Wait a minute. What's going on?
Tyler
here?
is talking dirty to me.
Oh,
Not only could the Packers go in to San Francisco and exercise the Aaron Rodgers demons with Jordan Love, but they could do it with their version of Colin Kaepernick running all over Levi Field. That right there, gentlemen.
So I will say that would be one of those a look that teams are not used to seeing, like unscouted look or whatever.
Well, we haven't seen it a ton this year at all. I wonder if they've kind of been holding it back.
Yeah, if Matt has a trick up his sleeve and all of a sudden we're going to see Love carry the ball 20 times, I'll admit I would be shocked at that because
it's not going to be 20 times. It's going to be in the key moments. Like 4th and 1.
I do think you're going to have a very creative approach to how you do want to run the ball, though, because again,
are you even 18, buddy? It's not a Mark. It's not a Mark Chimura podcast. All right, get out of here.
You have to, because so we all admit we said Jordan Love played an almost perfect game, but he did it only throwing 21 passes.
Mm-hmm.
I highly doubt the Packers are going to be able to get away with throwing it less than 30 times in this game.
Yeah.
I do not think the Niners are even going to entertain letting Aaron Jones dictate the game. They are going to say, you know what? We're going to make sure Aaron Jones is absolutely not the one that beats us. And again, no one is playing quarterback better than Love right now, but I feel like they're going to make him continue to play that well in order to win this one.
Make him beat us type of situation going in for sure.
And again, those 21 passes, like we said, after halftime, the game was pretty much over anyway. The fact that they were still throwing, they didn't even have to do that, and he only still threw it 21 times.
Hey guys, I think 20 days plus of not all playing together is going to be kind of a big advantage for us for them. They
sat a lot of their guys week 18.
That was kind of interesting. But they literally, think about it, for the team that's going to be the starting 11 that's going to come out for this playoff game, haven't all played together in sync for 20 plus days, man. They're going to be.
We've seen what
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
We've seen what that can do. I said earlier, I said yesterday, if the Packers win this game,
that was the divisional round 2022.
Yeah.
Well, no, Well, did the Packers rest their starters the last week of the season that year?
They rested half. Remember, it was Aaron Rodgers played half of the game against Detroit.
That's right.
Was it
Thank
Scantling
you, Corey.
got hurt,
Yep.
or
Yeah.
Lazard got hurt? Whoever it was that game we lost. Yeah, it all just kind of comes. Yeah, it comes right back.
Yeah, and to piggyback off what Corey just said, that's what I talked about yesterday. I tweeted like, if the Packers win this game, it's like when the Giants came into Lambeau and beat Green Bay. They didn't play the last week of the year, then they had the bye, and they looked like they had sat for 3 weeks. And by the time they got anything rolling, they had already been jumped on. They were down double digits. So
I was one of the worst hangovers of my life.
that's like that's what you have to do is like when there's a team that has that much pressure on them, you make them feel it as early as possible. If the Packers go up 10-0 and Purdy all of a sudden is having to throw to get back in the game, there you go. Like there's your chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost fought a 10-year-old girl at a B-dubs after that game. That was rough. After that Giants game.
Huh?
Okay.
You want to 10-year-old?
I'm trying to sit here at this Buffalo Wild Wings and sweat through this game, the defending Super Bowl champions, and every time something would happen, Rodgers throws a pick or gets sacked, she sits there, she's at this table across the bar, and she's like, yeah, Giants, and then she would turn around, look me right in the eye, and just stare at me. Like for a good
10-year-old?
5 count. Like this 10-year-old girl. And like after the third time, I'm like, what? And she's just like, and turned back around, and she never did it again. And I'm like, and I turned to my mom, like, am I gonna have to fight this chick?
I would have hit her with an onion ring or something.
Dan, have you talked to your therapist about this?
Hey, it's not an intense game if you're not willing to beat up a 10-year-old. Okay?
I thought this was going to be another Chimera joke. I got real scared for a minute. I didn't know what was going on. Jeez.
We still got 2 bar bets to get to.
Yeah, let's move through these, Dan.
Let's keep going.
So speaking of the passing game, who ends up with more passing yards, Jordan Love or Brock Purdy? Tyler, I'll kick it off for you.
Oh gosh, that's going to be tough. I mean, the weather thing is really throwing me off. It's really, really throwing me off. But I mean, just as a pure passer right now, I could see. Actually, I could see Purdy. I could see Purdy giving more yards simply because I feel like this is the type of game that they're going to let these guys kind of work underneath of us, kind of like Joe Barry likes to do, especially with these high-powered offenses. Like, let them work underneath, let them get their little check downs, let them try and, throw it to Kittle a little bit in the flat and see what happens. I think that's how he's going to get most of his yards, and I think Aaron Jones is going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting for us yet again.
All right. How many Bakhtiaris are you putting on it?
I'm going to say 4 going over for Purdy. For Purdy, yeah.
All right. Todd.
I'm going to go 5 Bakhtiaris for Purdy as well. Everything he just said was exactly correct.
I'm going Jordan Love 5 Bakhtiaris because again, this is going to be a game. If they're going to win it or stay in it, it's all going to be on him. Like he didn't throw very much last game. And I think it's going to be, I expect the Niners to kind of at some point go ahead by double digits, which means he's going to have to throw to get back in the game, just like Dak did. I certainly don't see him throwing it 60 times, but he's playing so well right now. I think they're going to continue to ride that hot hand, and they're obviously going to lean into the run game, but they're going to have to throw to win. So I'm taking Jordan Love.
Okay. I was coming in here ready to say Jordan Love, but I'm thinking I'd lead more toward Brock Purdy because of.
I'll be the contrarian. I can live with that.
Okay. Mostly because just the idea of Jordan Love pulling off a Colin Kaepernick-esque game in Santa Clara gets me all hot and bothered. So I think maybe that's what I'm leaning towards now. So I'll take Brock Purdy. I'll go 3 Bakhtiaris on that one. All right, a little bit more of a fun one here. Will Matt LaFleur have an unsuccessful challenge attempt? He has had an unsuccessful challenge attempt in 5 of the last 6 games. The only one he did not challenge is Minnesota.
He's a very emotional challenger.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Me too. I respect it.
I have a 10-year-old girl at B-dubs. Matt has a red hanky. We are the same. I will say that yes, he does, because I feel like, again, he's an emotional challenger. He wants to, if he starts getting, if things don't start going his way offensively, he's going to try and do something to one up Kyle Shanahan somehow, and it's going to be with some little like, no, I don't think that kickoff went fully into the end zone for a touchback. Like I'd like to challenge that, just to I don't know, whip his dick out or something. I don't know. Todd.
5 Bakhtiaris, yes. It's.
Oh, I don't think 5 Bakhtiaris. Yes,
his one last week wasn't even close.
No, it was not. No. I have no idea.
I honestly, I think it was like they wanted to take a timeout anyways, and was like, yeah, fuck it. Like it was kind of close. Why not? Like So yeah,
this thing's itchy in my pocket. I'm gonna fuck it.
Yeah. What the fuck is this? Get it out of here! Oh, that's the challenge flag. Shit.
He's challenged. There you go. Clap, Matt. Very nice. He challenged 2 spots in the first 10 minutes. Tyler.
Give me 1 Bakhtiari. Not happening. I'm taking the under. He's learned from his ways. He's going to have a flawless game on Saturday. Rain's going to help us. Running game's going to help us. The sleepy Niners, all right, they're not making it out of this game. They've been sleeping for 20 days, and we've been steamrolling, and we'll continue to steamroll. We're moving on. Championship game, first year as a starter. Love it. Here we go.
Monty?
I'm going to say he does not, and I'll go 2 Bakhtiari, so under. But I do think he's going to try to make a point and show off a little bit. I think we're going to see a trick play at some point.
Oh, yeah, 100%. He's going
on Saturday. Yeah.
Although I'm surprised there was no trick play at all in the Cowboys game, especially
Didn't need it.
I feel like they're saving one. I do. I feel like they're saving one.
They're saving one for sure.
He technically didn't need to go for it on 4th and 2 at the 3-yard line.
I think
That
honestly, I think
that's
why he pulled the starters when he did, because he was like,
"Yeah,
we just went for it on 4th down. I could probably pull my starters out." That was like, "Oh fuck!"
Just save it for the inevitable Lions NFC Championship game, and we can have Elton Jenkins report as eligible and just score a tutty on him,
and then have it called back.
Have it called back.
Yeah, it'll get
Nixon on offense. Yeah, we could see some of that. That would work.
We haven't seen that since the Saints game.
Yeah. 1 snap.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they're saving one. They've got something.
They got something in the bag.
Yeah.
He's cooking us something up.
Well, today I don't know if you guys saw this. So LaFleur's way of resting starters is to give them just walkthroughs this week.
Yeah.
But the media said today that they kicked him out earlier than they normally do. So they're clearly in the lab right now, cooking something up. So wonder if somebody's going to go on offense, or somebody else is going to go on defense, or maybe Christian Watson at safety.
That's a wrinkle. I could see it. Yeah.
I would love to see Christian at safety.
Pulls a hammy. Knock on wood. That was a joke. Christian's dad, I know you're watching. Don't tweet about me.
All right. Tyler, Monty, you guys, thank you so much for joining us today. This was an absolute ball. Thank you to everybody in the chat. The chat was absolutely electric today. You guys were absolutely great. I do want to say, Matt Freilich, making sure everybody knows, check out the anthem for this year's playoff run, Believe in 10. The Wisco Kids, they're back. Believe in 10. Check
banger.
It is a banger. I do actually legitimately enjoy what the Wisco kids put out. They are pretty good.
They have a good tone and they have a good producer for sure. I like it. It's decent.
Yeah,
There's a lot of especially that Run the Table song that they did was super good. They did a really good one.
I still listen to that song on
that was a good one.
Packer playlist. Yeah, that's
excellent.
Still involved there.
I gotta get Spotify to add it to my day list.
There you go.
So again, thank you guys so much, everyone that joined in on the chat today, watched along with us. Again, if you have not done so, make sure that you subscribe, hit the little button, the little alert button, so you get notified anytime our shows go live here on the Game On Wisconsin YouTube channel. I should have forgot, Monty, Tyler, please let the people know where they can find you if they live under a rock.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. I am at Ferturgeson, FERD_TURGESON, and I'm on the Friday Pack a Day podcast with both Shanna Quinn and Nathan Marzian. And you can find me on Fridays on Game On Wisconsin with Aaron Alice for Last Call Lambo.
Excellent.
Tyler?
Do not come find me. Go find the people that I get to. Whatever you do. I just lurk. I hang out in the shadows. But no, you can find my work on Cheesehead TV, of course, and also Pack a Day podcast. I do thumbnails for those guys, and then also got some cool, exciting projects coming up with my guy Tom Grassi. So check that out as well. All three of them are excellent. And of course, Last Call Lambo, Monty's work, and of course, you excellent, fine, beautiful gentlemen here at Lombardi's Bar. Love you all, except for Jimmy.
Thank you, sir. I mean, Tyler, I say, all bullshit aside, this is, I think, the first time we've gotten to interact in person.
Unfortunately for
yeah,
me.
I know. But,
just kidding, brother.
But seriously, the work that you put in with the Cheesehead TV and everything, I mean, that shit is it's top notch. It sets the bar for Packers content out there. So
appreciate that, man. That means a lot.
It was great to have you on.
Mid.
You suck. Aggregator, farm account, plucker.
If you're a single mom in the Wisconsin area, you can jump into Todd's DMs. Otherwise, you can follow me too. I'm on Twitter at DK all the way. You can find all my crap over there. For producer Maddie behind the scenes, for Tyler, for Monty, for Todd, I'm your bartender Dan saying cheers. As always, go Pack Go.
Go Pack Go.